Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another stream and another video. What are we doing today? We're continuing on our build of the Panther, the 1/35th scale German Panther tank by Meng. This guy right up here, right? That's what we're doing. So, last time we got the lower hull made. Well, almost done. We now left off with all of these little suspension arms. So I had to assemble them. There's just a little flat piece that went in them. You guys saw that in the last video. Okay, where there's a little piece that needs to be put in right in here and assembled. So I kind of did a little test fit and a little test run, and I got all the wheels on there. Now, one thing I noticed when I put all the arms on, as you can see them all on here, it makes it pretty hard to put the wheels on separately. You wind up having to sort of put them all on as a unit. And right now I'm going to take them all off. Okay, and of course you have to kind of take them off as one big unit because they kind of interlock, and it makes it so they kind of come off all as one, right? Because once you've put this guy on, now I got to put this guy on, and he's got to go in here, and well, it kind of doesn't really fit in there, right? Even the idler wheel, it doesn't want to go. It's just, yeah, it just won't go. So you wind up having to just barely kind of set that on there, and it gives you enough room to kind of wiggle this one in like this, and then you go with the next one and just kind of wiggle him in there. Oops, I got it backwards. Wiggle him in there, and you kind of do that. And once you've got them all laid out, then you start to kind of press them on, and that's how you do it, right? That's, well, at least that's what I discovered. Another thing that I found is putting these arms on, there's no guide to exactly what position to put them all in. And so that was another bit of a challenge. If anything, there's one guide, and that is this piece right here. You saw me put this on last time. This little bracket thing, it kind of sits down and hangs below, and it only allows the arm to travel down so far, and so that's what I used as my guide. Okay, so I used that to do that, and once I got them all lined up, I actually wound up using a ruler to make sure I got them all the exact same distance down so that all my wheels will be flat and level. Okay, so now the task comes to doing this side, and that's what we're going to start on right now. Okay, so I have to refer to my instructions because some arms go in one spot and other arms go in another. So I'm going to position this in the same as the picture. So starting from the back, we got to do suspension C, right? Okay, so we're assuming it's going to be the same. Now, one thing I noticed, let's remove our cog wheel here. Okay, you notice we've got arms that go starting back here, and we go all the way, and then we suddenly skip 2 spots. Okay, there's 2 blanks right here. So for whatever reason, they don't have any extra wheel here at the front. And we go flip over to this side, and there's our 2 blanks. Instead, we've got 2 blanks at the back. So I don't know what the deal is with this, why they've done this with the tank. I actually thought for a moment that I had put the wrong side on, and I looked at the other one in the box, and it's identical. So that's not my error or anything like that. That's how this tank is built. So what they don't show me is it going to be different? Like, are these 2 now going to be up front here? I don't think so. I don't think so. At least, you know, I don't know. But starting from the back, we want suspension C, and that's the one where we got multiple ones. See, we've got A, B, and C. we've got 4 of the A's, 2 of the B's, and 10 of the C's. Okay, the C's basically all go in the middle here. So that's nice and easy to figure out. But we got suspension A goes at the front. That's simple enough. It goes right there. That's the very first one. Okay. So with that assumption, am I going to put it in the exact same spot here? Well, they don't even line up, really. No. So does that mean I take suspension A, which I only have one more? Does that mean he goes up here at the front, like this? It's actually a pretty loose fit there. But does that mean he goes in the first slot? Because they don't show me on the other side which one, if there's any difference. But that would be that, and then suspension B would be the second one. And B. Actually, I got this backwards. There's A, and then B, like this. And then we have another A, but it goes not in the very back, but in the second to the back. And then the C's go in the rest, like this. Now these things are all very similar in their appearance. I don't think it'd be the end of the world if you made a mistake and put them in the wrong spots. Ironically, I've got 2 extra of the C's, which is kind of funny. But there we go. So I do notice that we've got kind of heavier duty ones up at the front. Now that I dropped them all out, if I compare to this side, yeah, the heavier duty ones are at the front. So that does make sense. These are all falling out on me. It's kind of funny. They have heavier duty ones at the front, 2 front ones, and then a heavier duty one, not the very rear, but the one in front of the rear. Which is kind of, I don't know what their purpose is behind that, but that's the way it is. So now, how do I make sure these are all the same? Well, this is where I get my trusty ruler out, and I'm going to eyeball it, because I already know that these other ones, I've got them lined up at basically 1 millimeter hanging down, and so I got to do the same for this, right? So glasses off, glue out, right? Just use the thin set. And I use my ruler, line this up so that we're at 1 millimeter right there. Okay. Double check. Just a hair of a movement. Perfect. So there's one. Okay. Now I've built 1 or 2 of these tanks in the past, not this particular one, but where they give me a template to actually put on there, and it lines them all up for you, and then you glue them all, and then here you go. And for whatever reason, Meng didn't give you one. Didn't give me one in this kit. And so that's why this is a little bit of a challenge, having to set all these up kind of manually. And yeah. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes you just do what you gotta do, right? Some of these are a tighter fit than others, so that helps out a little bit in the process. So you can just set it and forget it. That looks good. Other ones like this one's really loose, right? And of course the test is you put all the wheels on. You want them all level. And that's the final test, right? Once you get all the wheels on there, because you want them all nice and level and sitting in the same spot. One more. Oh, I missed one actually. I jumped ahead. Now one more. There we go. Okay, so now in theory these are all the same height. That's the theory. I see there's a couple here need a slight adjustment. Okay, we're good. There we go. So those are on. Leave that a minute to kind of set and settle. I could add a little more glue on the inside just to secure them. A little better. There we go. Okay, so there's all our suspension arms on. Okay, with 2 spares. That's kind of cool. Unnecessary, but still. So, with this done, we're going to move on. And we're going to start on the upper hull assembly. Bear with me a moment here. Okay, so we need our B tree, our M tree, and our D tree, okay? B. So let's go B. Where's our B? We don't need A. Here's our B. B, 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 B. So B, we're going to get this great big guy. Okay, so let's get him. It's a little bit ironic is we have parts in the middle of them that I have to take off. I have to take off. Okay, that's it for the B. These guys get to go back in the box, but we're going to do that a little bit later. Okay. All right, so that's it for B. I need M. Just a second here. All right. We need M5, 8, 15, and 27. That's a lot. M5, this big guy here. M8 is a little round guy. This guy here. 8, 15, this guy here, and 27. What it's not referencing is number 35, which looks like it would be the other side, unless they just want me to put it on another point. They don't even show it on here. They kind of, so you notice, you can see on this camera, see how it's different colors, and that kind of distinguishes which parts we're actually assembling. But they don't reference the other side, they just kind of show it already on. So going by that, I need to put this one on too. Okay, so I need to pause this for a moment. Okay, let's get these cleaned up. You got the nub marks right on the sides that the piece is going to be joining. So they don't need to be pretty, but they need to be gone in order to put that piece flush against here. This is basically the inner framework of the upper hull, from what I can tell. And so yeah. And I don't think that needs any cleanup on there. That should be fine, just in case. I don't know what's going to be coming up and whether I'll have to put anything on there. That's cleaned. That's the irony of having so many attachment points on a part onto the sprue, is you have to clean up that many more nut marks. So that one. That one's done. I do like the detail. I don't know, even if I put it on the camera, if you're going to be able to see the detail that they've put for the weld beads on this thick kit. It's such a fine detail, but it looks pretty cool if you can actually see it. It'll look good when I actually get to painting and weathering. I'm going to change the camera. I'll put this one on screen and see if I can actually show you guys the detail. It's pretty cool. Try and get this to focus on this piece here. It's hard to tell, even with the lighting being so bright. Let me turn the light off. Maybe you'll be able to see better. Yes and no, you can't really see it. All along this edge here, all the way around, there is the flame cut welds all the way along the edges. It's I should be able to get right in there, and you just barely see it right here along this edge. See that? It looks like a rough line, but it's actually the flame cut welds on this thing, and it's really cool that they did that. I've seen Night Shift make his own on a lot of kits. Okay, with that done and that's out of the way. Oh, I gotta clean up my little round guy, I think. Let's see here. My friend is very chatty today. Much more chatty. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to put our side pieces on. And they're going to go on, looks like, go like this. Just like that. Just like that. So slather some glue on here. And make this a nice permanent home. For our little friend here. Just like that. Press down on here to hold it. And that ought to do it for that guy. Okay? And then we'll do the same on this side. we go. Press that down. There we go. And this side's on. Just like that. So that's 2. Next, we have this guy goes on the top. And he's going to line up at the front. And this guy is going to go on the front. Like this. It doesn't really matter which one I put first, so maybe I'll do this guy first. He just simply lines up on there like this. There's no real guide pins or anything like that to make sure it's in place perfectly. You would think there'd be guide pins that go in there, but there's nothing. This is just flat. So it's just a matter of slathering glue on there. And calling it a day. There we go. And then this guy goes on just like that. Pardon me and the frog in my throat. Just kind of press down on that just a little bit. In fact, probably better to do this. And I'll put a little bit at the leading edge. And back here. So I don't want it to accidentally lift if I have to put some kind of pressure on it. There we go. Okay. And we've got M8, which is a little round guy. He's got to go in here. He actually does have a little locator pin, which is nice. Get it facing the right direction. Put a little bit of glue in there. It would help if I get him angled in properly. There we go. I'm not sure why they make me put in this one little random piece like this. It doesn't. Why does that add to the detail that I put in this one little piece when everything else is molded? You know, it's kind of weird. Just why? Boom, let's put that in. Okay, so now we got to find my D. Where's my D? Where'd my D go? It's right here. D16. Which is going to be this guy here. Right there. And they decided to put some stuff on the inside of this one also. But it looks like these might be covers to go on those holes, maybe. Doink, dink, and doink. I don't know yet, because we're not there. This guy I need to clean up. pretty good. And facing this direction, well, he's got 4 pins that line up on these 4 holes. And it sits in just like that. Nice. Facing this way, just like that. Now I do want to hold this together like that. Just to help it stay. As I put these pieces on, I feel the rigidity getting stronger on this piece as I put all these pieces together. Okay, so now what I want to do is get a little bit of thin set into those little cracks. Press down a little bit. So get some glue in there. And make sure that's going to stay. Same on this side. This is probably good enough now. There we go. Okay. A little more just to make sure. We're going to have it glued everywhere we can, like it's supposed to be. I am seeing a tiny little bit of a gap. So I'm going to put a little bit of putty just on the inside. I don't want to put it on the outside because I don't want to get rid of that weld bead detail, because then I'd have to redo it, and that's a whole nother ball game. So I'm just going to add a little putty in there just to fill that gap. The nice thing about this being such a tiny little point is I can kind of squirt it into the crack and seal it up. Yeah, that's already looking much better. I can't see light through there anymore, so that's perfect. Just putting a little bit of goop in there. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to be flipping this guy over, and adding some stuff on the inside. Looks like we're going to be adding a hinge and a couple of pieces here. They look like black clear pieces. That would be H. And they look like clear on the picture, but, and it is too, H1. So they want me to put these clear windows in here, but yet they want me to paint them, which is kind of weird. And that's going to be, they're going to be sticking up here and here. But if I put them in now, then that means I need to mask them off when it comes to painting this thing later on. I want to try and avoid having to mask off clear pieces. So I'm going to hold off just for now. If it comes to a point where, you know, I need to assemble this thing and that makes it impossible to actually put the pieces in, then I'll put them on, right? I don't have any other choice. So I'm just going to hold off on those for now. In the meantime, I need A15 and M20. So I find my A tree. I need 15. This guy here. Okay. And I need M20. M20. Where are you? Right here. There's actually two of them, but I only need one for now. Oh, wait a sec. I do need both of them. Okay. And then F16. Oh, F16. And obviously need two of those too. That's going to be our little radiator. There's one. And two. Okay, now I'm going to clean these up. Probably don't have to. These just sit on the inside here. Oh, these pins. Ejector pins that they didn't bother cleaning up or getting rid of. Substandard, I tell ya, it's substandard. You know what I mean? Why do I have to clean these off? Isn't that part of quality control's job? Isn't that part of quality control to clean those up? I really don't know. I mean, is it the end of the world? Probably not. This probably doesn't interfere with anything. It's on the inside of the hull, and you're never going to see it. I just now have these little ejector pins I need to throw in the garbage. Okay, so let's start at the front here. We got this guy here. He's going to go on, whoops, he's going to go on like this, right in there. Let's move these over here. Okay, so he's going on like that. And so, put my glue away. Do-do-do-do. 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 Do-do-do-do-do-do. There it goes, just like that. It's kind of, there's a weird little thing looking out there. But, yep, there you go. And now we have our little hinges. Do-do-do-do-do. So, looks like we've got these little pins here and here. We're going to line up with these little notches while these parts hang down. Now, of course, we've got ejector pins here that I need to clean up. Initially I thought were part of the part, but they're not. Okay. So that goes in there like so. And so that's that. So that's one. And that's one of our little hinges. If I flip this over, you can kind of see we've got our hinge sticking out there, right? It's going to be fun later, especially if I drop it. Do the same on this side. Make sure it's straight up and down. Okay. Now, because my thicker glue is just a little stronger, I'm going to put a big dab on there. The thin is nice. It dries really quick and it goes into the cracks you need it to, but the thicker stuff is just, it's got a little bit of a stronger bond. Okay, so with those done, I can't just put this down because I'll break those off. I have to deal with this. So, which way do these go? They're gonna go like this, and it looks like they fit like this, or they're little pins or tabs. Doesn't look like it. It also doesn't look like they sit in any kind of a slot or anything. They're just kind of there. You can wiggle it all around and it doesn't really line up with anything. At least it doesn't feel like it. Maybe like this. It's not like snapping down into place or anything. It looks like this smooth side goes towards the inside, which would be like this, I guess. But it doesn't. guess it's just a matter of lining it up like this on the outside. And that's about it. It's kind of disappointing because these grills are actually wider than this piece. So I can see these little grills on here through, but I've got a spot where I can actually see that it's not all the way across. It doesn't look right. These are the same piece on both sides, so they're both identical. It's a little disappointing. But what you gonna do, right? I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so let's put some glue down. It's not the best fit. It's just, yeah. Again, it's a little disappointing. The fit is not the best. I would have liked to see it kind of snap into place a little better. But it doesn't, and so it's just the way it goes. And we have this detail along here and here that you can't even see. And we actually do have locator pins, so there are locator pins, but at the same time it doesn't really line up with anything. They don't really line up. They do and they don't. Like I said, this is the yeah. Okay, one side's in. Unfortunately, these pins don't line up on this side at all. There we go. So there we go. We've got both sides in. You can see our nice little engine fans through the top. You can see sort of some grill detail through those. Of course, once we got our photo etch meshes on there, you're not going to really see it. And of course, what have I done? I've gone and pressed down on the top of this thing so much that I've almost ruined my little hinges, because I forgot all about them. So I got to make sure they are level again. Okay, back in business. Back in business. So I'm going to try and get some thin set in here to make sure these stay put. And hopefully not give me a headache later by falling in the tank. That would really suck. Okay. So with that, guys, I think we're going to end it here today. So I got to start getting ready to go. And so there we go. So we got the upper hull started. We got lots of details to put on top and all that fun stuff. Eventually, it's going to go on the bottom and attach to the bottom. Something like this. Imagine. Something to that effect. Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. One thing I have not shown you yet is what I did yesterday with the tracks. So, I have... Oops, don't put that down like that. I have 2 sections of assembled tracks. And they're glued together, obviously, because they're not falling apart on me. So what I did is, after getting these done and I put the wheels on the one side, that gives me an indicator of how many segments to glue together that are going to be flat and straight. And then once I start assembly, I will put the tracks individually around the wheels and then have their little sagging as they go along the top. I might do a section something like half as long as this for the top part, so that I can just get it nice and flat and straight, and it's easier like that. I haven't decided on that yet, but it's probably going to be something I do later on as time goes by. So with that, I'll just leave that here. I'm going to end that here for today, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for watching. And sarcastically, thank you for all the chat that I've been experiencing today. Yeah, I realize I got a lot more YouTube viewers than Twitch viewers, and that's fine. So, if you like my videos, if you like what I'm doing, then, hit the like button down below there. And over here on this side somewhere, you can hit the subscribe button. And in the description box, I will put links to my Instagram, where I upload pictures of previous builds that I do, or have done, I guess. And also to my Twitter, if you want to check out my Twitter. The only thing I do on Twitter is really just I tweet that I've uploaded a new video, and that's about it. But if you wanted, you could message me on there or whatever. I suppose you could message me on my DMs on my Instagram too, whatever you like, or just do comments down below. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at this for now, guys. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you all in the next one.